All right, welcome in week 7 recap. We are halfway through the regular season. It's a special early edition of the weekly recap. Timing worked out that we could get this out sooner here. And I got my C4 now ready to go. Going to be wired for the recap. Should be a lot of fun. We got Chris joining us.
And
And
I'm getting paid for this time.
there you go. He's working right now. Not the first time we've had someone working during the recap. Not quite as cool as Noah inside of a police car doing the recap. However, you are on the clock, so you are getting paid to do the recap. So that's always a good thing. Um, let's get into the matchups. We're halfway through the regular season. I'll start going through the standings a little bit, and we're kind of getting down to crunch time. I can't believe we're already halfway through the regular season, especially considering where my team's at. So we don't have to talk about the first matchup, really. I mean, sure, Ryan won. Now moving on. Um,
No, no, wait. No. It was a close matchup. We gotta talk about decisions. We gotta talk about
no, Ryan won. He went 2-0. I got the one win. I got the median. That's really it. I think we can move on.
man, that defense last night was tough as a fan and a fantasy footballer.
Make me talk about it. I want to reiterate from what I said 2 weeks ago when I lost by 1 yard. I needed one more yard from Josh Jacobs and lost by 0.06. And this week I lost by 0.8. I'd like to reiterate how great of a commissioner I am for showing up and continuing to do the recap, even though I don't want anything to do with fantasy football right now. So you're welcome. And I lost even though I got 36 points from Josh Jacobs. That is impressive.
Yeah, I think now I'm here. I want to bring up a stat that I texted you for everyone on the league. Devin, ninth place. This man, besides his flex position and his kicker defense, starts a top 10 player in each of their respective positions every week. Right.
Unbelievable. This man also has 28 more points than Chris, who is 7-7.
I feel like this is like the last, I've done this. This is my third year with you guys. I feel like this is like I've been in this same position. this every year. It's like I'm just squeaking by.
Unbelievable. I couldn't believe. I mean, all I needed last night was I was up one going into the Patriots game. I got Nick Folk. I got the Patriots defense. Ryan has Jacoby Myers. I just need the Pats defense going up against the Bears to, and Nick Folk to outscore Jacoby Myers. And Jacoby Myers only got 2 targets in the entire game. If you told me going in, Jacoby Myers gets 2 targets, I would have said that I won by 25 points. Jacoby Myers gets 2 targets and ends up getting 11.4 fantasy points out of 2 targets. Is 30-yard touchdown, I think it was, and then
Yep.
the dagger was a one catch for 4 yards
4 yards.
that put Hilshi over the top. I never got an attempt at a field goal from Nick Folk. Only got the 2 extra points. That was not my most devastating loss in the last 2 weeks. However, it was still one of the most devastating losses I've ever had.
Yeah, it can be close, especially as a Patriots fan at like, double line.
I legitimately was angry when Jacoby Myers scored that touchdown. Everybody was, it was zappy time. He's in the game. First drive, Myers touchdown right away, turned the momentum of the game. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, I did not want it. I was so upset. I was saying he was down, saying it was incomplete. But that's the reason that Hilshi got the win here and goes 2-0 in the week. That was tough. And didn't help that Justin Herbert didn't do anything all game and still somehow ended up with 22 points. And also DJ Moore, who hasn't done anything all season, ends up with 19 points against me. Same thing happened last week with Juju. So that's just the way that this year's going.
Hey, PJ, hey, put some respect on the XFL MVP, whatever he was doing in there.
Yep. And it's unbelievable. So Hilshi goes 2-0, moves to 7-7. He's in fifth place right now. I got 127 points and only went 1-1. At least I got the win against the median, but still sitting in ninth place at 4-10. So that was a tough one to swallow. We'll move on to your matchup. You went 2-0 in the week. Big win over Sam, 126 to 109. And finally coming along a little bit here for you. You went 1-1 last week, 2-0 this week, and moved yourself to 7-7. And into that last playoff position right now. 17 from Kamara, who's looked like himself lately. And Juju absolutely went off for you in the flex. The Muth was a great tight end, but the biggest story, DeAndre Hopkins is back.
DeAndre Hopkins is back. He's gonna win me this league. Everyone needs to be put on notice and be afraid of the GOAT.
Well,
Doesn't matter even if COD's coming out next week or not. He's
you
gonna be
did,
fine.
but you did lose DK, so we'll have to see how serious that is. So that was tough. He got carted off, and we'll see how serious that one is. So you lost DK, but you get DeAndre Hopkins back. So I know how excited you were for that.
Oh, I know. So excited.
Yep. Sam, after starting the year 8-2, has lost his fourth straight game. The last two weeks going 0-2, only 109 for him this week, despite 28 from Ken Walker. Killed him that Amon-Ra St. Brown went down on his first catch of the game. Made the first catch and it goes right down and finishes with 1.4. Kyle Pitts has been one of the most disappointing draft picks so far this season. And Jonathan Taylor was finally back and had a bunch of receptions that salvaged his day for 15 points. But overall, 109 points, not what Sam wants to be seeing. So he went 0-2 in the week. Sam's in third place at 8-6 right now, still in a good position, despite the struggles as of late. And you've won 3 straight. You're holding on to that last playoff spot as of right now, halfway through the season. How are you feeling about your team right now, halfway through?
Feel really good. I'm happy with the Keenan Allen trade. I'm happy with the 2 trades I've done, especially after last night. David Montgomery sucks eggs. I'm sorry, but I think he sucks eggs. It's tough about Sam. I still think that like going before the end of the season, I pick Sam as like objectively like top to bottom. I mean, although we didn't know what Kyle Pitts was going to turn into be, unfortunately, but still, it's so like Jonathan Taylor, Saquon, and Kent Walker is disgusting.
Yes, it
and
is.
I theoretically though I technically still squeaked by a win because of this Josh Allen bye. That what I mean. Josh Allen can get 15 more points easily.
Yep, absolutely.
So
it was a big bye week overall. So yeah, not having Josh Allen. So you picked a good week to play him.
Thank you, Commissioner. I appreciate you scheduling this one.
Yeah, speaking of David Montgomery, Kyle needed 20 points from David Montgomery to win this absolute shootout of a matchup. I said it was Rams Chiefs on Monday Night Football a couple of years ago that ended up 54-51. And first place Drew continuing to roll 162 to 155 over Kyle. The most exciting possible matchup you could get between the best team in the league and the worst team in the league, based on the standings. And Kyle,
like Bears, Pats out there, awful team and game to play.
But Kyle at 4-10 right now, last place, putting up 155 points and only getting one win out of it against the median is definitely heartbreaking. He needed 20 from Montgomery. And he had 15 carries, 62 yards and a touchdown. But Khalil Herbert took a lot of the work too, a lot of the receiving work, and had a touchdown himself. If it all went to Montgomery, then Kyle wins. But that obviously didn't happen. Just absolute. What do you do when you're playing against Joe Burrow getting 45 and Austin Eckler getting 36? I mean, those two alone, I think, beat Andre this week. It's it's tough to compete with the number one quarterback and the number one running back. And Drew put up 162, even though he played James Robinson, who had 0 points,
big goose egg,
no catches on 1 target and no rushes. So that was quite the stat line. And then immediately got traded to the Jets right after. So yeah, I'm
happy about that trade. I have him in the league, so I'm happy. I'm sure Drew's happy.
Yep.
Even though he's been on the Jets for 3 weeks.
Yes, he has, of course.
Yeah.
So
I'm glad to see Kittle. Kittle's back though.
Yep.
Kyle,
21,
6 for 9, almost
nice.
100 yards. So.
Yep, big game for Kittle. Jamar Chase had 33 on the other side, so he canceled out a lot of what Burrow did for Drew, but that's what kept it close. And Mahomes with 32, but it wasn't enough. So Kyle helping the points 4 and got the median, but couldn't get the win over Drew. Drew comfortably in first place right now at 12-2. He's won 7 straight games, and of course that's including median and winning your matchup. He's won 7 straight. Kyle moving to 4-10. Me and him are tied with record wise. Kyle's in 10th place based on points right now. what a matchup that was. And another extremely close. We couldn't believe after Sunday that this was not the closest matchup of the week, but Noah squeaked by Team Facefuck 101.96 to 101.1. Just, I don't know how Noah got away with this. I mean, obviously his running backs are studly, and even like they didn't even have great games for them for their own standards. I mean, Chubb with 18 and Henry with
Mm.
16 is about all you can ask for if you're Bart and Zach. But the whole rest of Noah's team didn't do too much, but did just enough to squeak by. I mean, Graham Gano was one of his top scorers in this game, and for Bart and Zach, it was first round pick Leonard Fournette only getting 4 points was really tough. Pittman has had he had a huge game last week, but only came back with 9 this week. So this was another extremely close game that tough loss there for Bart and Zach.
I like to see Adams though back after a bye though. Looks like they on the same page. 8 catches,
Mm-hmm. Yep. So
95
he
yards. You
came
get
out
one
with
touchdown,
yeah.
25 points.
Oh, came out
So
with 17 there. Damian Pierce looked really good, but
yeah,
always bold when you have to start Geno Smith. However, he basically canceled out Kyler Murray. So yeah, just
that's
all
not a
around.
bold thing. That's not bold.
Yeah, I
He's
mean
like
he's
a.
better. I mean he's better than Russell Wilson. So
I think he is. Do you think Dameon Pierce will be rookie of the year
he's up
now that
there.
Brees Hall?
It
Now
would
that
have
Brees
been
Hall
it,
is
it would have been Brees Hall. Now Damian
yeah.
Pierce is going to be right up there.
Think
So
it's gonna be him?
at least from the offensive side of things. So
Yeah.
yeah, that was a tough loss for Bart and Zach. They moved to 6-8. They're in 7th place right now. First team looking on the outside in right now for the playoffs. Obviously, a lot of games left, but Noah also moves to 6-8 as he goes 1-1 for the week. Obviously, neither of these teams hit the median.
Wait,
Um,
what's Noah's team name again? Sorry, app's glitchy. Can't
Next matchup, we're gonna
see.
we oh boy. Moving on to the last matchup of the week, we had Jake T got the win over Andre. Very disappointing week for Andre. It was 108 to
Mm.
77. And just Lamar has just been very disappointing for Andre the last couple of weeks after a couple of huge games earlier on. He played against me, scored 209 points, and then hasn't had anything from Lamar since that game happened. But yeah, Lamar and Mark Andrews combining
I'd
for
say
10
yeah.
combining for 10 points usually is not going to get the job done.
Mm. And
Mon-
then I see Dila's question. I noticed that
yeah.
hamstring. We'll
Ram-
see.
he had Ramondre with 23, David Njoku with 14 in his flex. And
Oh
other
my
than that,
goodness.
and and other than that, nobody else got into double digits. So that was tough for him. And Jake did just enough, didn't quite get the median. He fell just short of that. So Jake went 1-1 on the week. But he got Dak back. His Michael Scott nickname that still doesn't make any sense to me. And but Joe Mixon with 18, obviously killed Jake to lose Brees Hall for the season.
Yep.
That was tough to see because he just was playing so good. Um, but
He's got Devontae Freeman at home and ETN, so I
that would
wouldn't worry too much.
that would be Donta Foreman, running back for the Panthers. Yes, he
He has
does.
both of
So
them, so I wouldn't
and
worry. And
he's got Travis Etienne, who is now by himself in the Jaguars backfield. So I know Jake's excited about that. Um, he started. What's this guy's for? Oh, that's Josh Reynolds. He started Josh Reynolds. So getting a win while starting Josh Reynolds is pretty impressive. So Jake
I'm
moved to nine
surprised
and
if they would
five.
start Josh Reynolds over Garrett Wilson.
Yeah, yeah, that Jake, his brain works in mysterious ways. So he moves to 9-5. He's in 2nd place still. And Andre dropping down to 7-7. He's in 4th place with all the points that he scored. And yeah, so pretty close all overall in the standings so far this year. I mentioned Drew got the weekly prize. It was his 2nd of the year, which is trailing Andre, who has 3. So far through seven weeks halfway through the year, Andre has 3 weekly prizes. Drew has 2 of them.
For the other two,
And then Sam
or
had
do you
it
not
from
know?
Sam had it from week 1 and Jake had it from week 4. And so the
Nice.
all of the weekly prizes in the league through 7 games are being distributed between 4 people and mostly only 2. Um, So that's pretty wild there. Andre's almost made his money back off of weekly prizes, and Drew's trying to do the same thing right now. So looking forward to week 8. We have the matchup of the week. Me in ninth place, 4-10
Oh, you
versus
actually gonna do?
Kyle. But no, this is absolutely not the matchup of the week. These are the worst two teams in the league. Someone's gonna win 70-65. It is me at 4-10 in ninth place versus Kyle at 4-10 in 10th place. And we were talking about it before. Whoever loses this game, if they go 0-2, is very much could be out of the race. I mean, it's never impossible, but you basically are going to have to start trying to run the table at that point at 4-10.
4-12.
Right. So this is that's a big game between me and Kyle. And obviously Kyle's in 10th, but he just came off a 155-point performance. I just scored 127. So, I mean, we'll see what
Could
happens.
be close. Yeah. Patty Mahomes bye though, so you're dodging a bullet there.
That's huge. That's huge. So we'll see. We'll see what Kyle does there. I'm getting Jalen Hurts and Devontae Smith back off by. So we'll see what happens there. We've got Noah in 8th place, 6-8, taking on Andre, 7-7 in 4th place. You're taking on the top team in the league, Drew, at 12-2. So that'll be a tough matchup for you there.
No Eckler, no Kelsey. So who knows?
No Eckler and no Kelsey. You're just weaving through all the lasers coming down at you, just avoiding
Threading the
all
needles.
the best players. Avoiding all the best players in the league somehow on all of their bye weeks. Bart and Zach are going to take on Hilshi. I'm sure I can't wait to hear the shit talking that's going to happen at work throughout the week on that one. And then the actual matchup of the week, number 3, Sam at 8-6, taking on number 2, Jake at 9-5. That's going to be a great matchup. I'm trying to see if there's any major buys in that one, but I don't really think so. I mean, obviously Amon Ra is hurt, so we're gonna have to see what happens there for Sam, but he's getting Josh Allen back off by. And we'll see if Jake in second place rolls Josh Reynolds back out into the starting lineup.
If he starts Josh Reynolds over Cooper Kupp and wins, I will.
He's getting Cooper Kupp back off the bye. That's right.
I will. Oh God, I don't know.
The real question is he going to start Crimels, who he has nicknamed for Devontae Freeman at home, Donta Foreman. So we will see. That's gonna be a good game.
Yep, I have money on Jake. I'm gonna go with Jake. My prediction.
Okay, gonna go Jake. Who you got in the me versus Kyle toilet bowl?
You.
Fuck.
Hurts off a bye against who is they? The Pittsburgh Steelers. Yeah, I don't know. I think they might steamroll them.
Sure hope so. Jalen Hurts has been really good, but we'll see. I also got McCaffrey actually playing his first real game with the 49ers of actually having a week of practice and get a lot of touches. So I am excited about that. But we will see. The way it's gone for me this year, Tyler Lockett will put up like 45 points. So it's going to be tough. But all right. Thanks for joining me, Chris. Good luck next week against Drew. Seems like you'll probably need it. I'm gonna need it too, going up against the 2 highest scores from last week. So we'll see. So halfway through the season, can't believe it. And yeah, thanks for joining.
Absolutely. Take care.
All right.